Hey guys, what is going on? It's Don here from Novaspirit Tech and welcome back to the channel. And today we will be doing a full upgrade on my main desktop PC, primarily because of this Nvidia 3080 Founders Edition. So let's get started. Before we begin, I do want to thank my friend Chris for actually selling me his Nvidia 3080 Founders Edition. Now, I do want to talk about this case a little before I jump into what else I got, because this is a full upgrade. And I do definitely have a love-hate relationship with this Thermaltake Core G3 case. Now, you do have a filter up on top, a filter in the front, a filter on the bottom, as well as a filter by the GPU. It's also got an inverted window look. This actually helps with the way my office is set up, where I have my computer on the left side, and I'm still able to see all the cool insides of this case. And that's basically about it. Everything else is now the downhill spiral. While this case looks pretty cool, it actually doesn't function very well. Let me explain. One, you have absolute zero cable management. Now this looks pretty from this angle. That's because I hid all the cables over here. But if I turned it around, let me move this out of the way. But if I turn this around, you see all the cables coming up. There is absolutely no cable management in this case whatsoever. While this is the smallest case that I could find for a full-size ATX, it still uses a SFX power supply, which is the small form factor, and this is a 600 watt, which means if I was to upgrade this to a 750 watt, which the graphic card requires, it's going to cost a pretty penny. Now, because there's no cable management or anything like this, I only get half flow with the fan. It's basically blocked up by all the cables, so only half the fans could blow this way into the case. And I cannot fit any other fans anywhere else. I can't put a fan up on top because the graphic card, once it's installed, there's no room on top to fit any fans up here unless you use like really slim ones, but you can't fit it here because cable management won't allow for it. I use a 2 terabyte drive that's over here, 3.5 inch, so you can't replace the caddy to put a fan in here. And there's no position that you could put a fan in the back as well. So basically all the dust or all the air that comes in gets trapped in here. There's no way of escaping. And that's one of my biggest problems because I have to underclock this machine just to keep it cool. That's enough of me complaining about this case. And once I start taking everything apart, I will be explaining each part that I have in my computer. This way, if you guys are interested in buying a similar build, I'll leave all the links down in the description below. Now, what am I going to upgrade this case to? All right, here we have it, the NZXT H510i. And why I chose the i version is because I can actually put the graphic card vertically right over here standing so I could have a good display on it. Because this will actually be the centerpiece of my entire build now. And I decided to go for black because I'm trying to stay with the black and gray theme, kind of similar to what the graphic card has and most of my computer components. So it's going to look pretty good once everything goes together. And I do want to thank Microcenter for sending the NZXT over to me for this build, as well as the power supply that I'm actually going to be putting into this as well, which I will tell you about in a little bit. I'm going to start disassembling my computer, show you all the guts, and then we'll start transplanting everything and putting it into this new computer and a couple of the upgrades that I'm going to be putting in as well. So here we go. This is the MSI X570 Ace with the Arctic Cooler Liquid Freeze 2 240 millimeter all-in-one cooler. And I really like this. I'll leave a link down in the description below for this, but this actually has a built-in fan, so actually could cool off your VRMs as well, because a lot of the water coolers don't have this feature, because once you replace the fan that comes with your CPU, that actually aids cool off the VRMs, it doesn't cool off anything anymore. You're relying on the passive cool, but they actually installed a little fan that actually helps cool the VRMs. So it's that little extra that helps. What I also have here is a 1 terabyte Sabran PCIe 4.0S M.2, and I am planning to install a second one over here for a cache drive for my editing. We also have my 1070, which we saw earlier, and I am going to be reusing this on the new case because I am doing the vertical mount, so I'm hoping that this would actually fit. And I've seen videos where this does fit, so I don't think I should have a problem with it, but I do have other ones. It's just that mines are not black and I kind of want to stay with the black theme, or I might have to order a brand new one, but for now I think this should be able to fit. I do have two SSDs. They're both 240 gigabytes, and these, I'm currently using one of these for the cache drive. That's why I'm installing an M.2 over here. But yeah, one of these is a cache drive, and the other one is just like old school game drive, whatever I'm just storing in here. Then I have my 2 terabyte 3.5 inch drive, and this is for my images that I load, download files, OBS, stuff like that. I don't really store important stuff in here, just more like stuff that I don't want to install on my main M.2. Here's the thing you might also want to pick up. You see how much dust, even though it has the dust filters and everything, it still racks up a lot of dust because it gets trapped inside the case. So I'm going to clean this all down before I put it into the new case. All right, so everything is in. I managed to put the fans in front of this shroud and really it should be behind because it gives you a little bit more of airflow inside this channel. But maybe in the future I might get slim fans just to put in here because this Arctic cooler was just a little bit too big where it wasn't able to fit, which I could show you right here. And you could see that it was just like off by 1 centimeter or something. Everything is installed. All the screws are bolted in. Now I just have to do all the wiring that's over here, as well as the power and everything, basically cable management, and then plug in all my hard drives. All right, another thing I have going for this is this EVGA 850 watt power supply. And again, thanks for Microcenter for sending this over to me. I think I opened this once before. There you go. It is an 80 plus, so it is going to be pretty efficient, and everything is modular. It's fully modular. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I had to switch the case. Other than the fact that the GPU won't fit on the old case, this is the other reason, which is the power supply. Now I'm going to start wiring this whole thing up, putting this back in there, and then I'll explain what I'm doing in the back. Alright, so I basically did some cable management here, ran my CPU cables over here, my motherboard cable, as well as some hard drive cables. I got all three of my hard drives in place, the two SSDs as well as my 3.5 2 terabyte hard drive. And this I'm going to clean up a little bit later. But then again, yeah, I basically wrapped all the wires together so it doesn't look as sloppy as it should. Now, going to the other side, now I managed to put the graphic card where it's supposed to be. So this is where I want it to be, to showcase the 3080 right here. Got my water cool going on over here. The loop is kind of running a little bit low. I don't know if I want to reroute that soon, but everything fits. The Thermaltake cable that I needed worked perfectly fine. Everything's hooked up basically, and it is ready to be tested. So I am gonna button this up a little bit and turn it on to see if everything powers on and make sure everything is working correctly. So here we have it, guys, the completed build of the Wraith 3080. And so I've been using it for the past couple of weeks, and I could tell you this thing is a beast. The 3080 actually completely destroys the 1070 in any type of performance. It's obvious already, but I didn't know how much, even though after looking at the benchmarks until testing it myself. So here's a couple of things I found on using this guy. Now, one, this case is really good because I'm actually able to see the temperature on my computer because the motherboard actually has a little thing that tells you what the Celsius degrees is on the CPU. So I always have an idea how hot the CPU is getting. And then I also have an Elgato Stream Deck that tells me what the GPU usage is as well as the temperature on the GPU. Now, a couple of things I did notice on this setup about temperature is that since this is a tempered glass and it's almost enclosed all the way, you are relying on the 2 fans in the front and the 2 in the back, the top and the back, to get everything through. Now, the Arctic fan has 2 CPU fans that is controlled by the CPU itself. The wires are hidden between the braided tubing so you don't see it. But what I did notice is that I had to disconnect the bottom fan to have the NZXT control the bottom fan. This way I have just as much airflow coming in as it is going out. Now the front of the GPU is a blower style fan which helps take out all the air from the back, but there's a fan right here where it blows into the motherboard. So that's why these 2 are very important. After changing that, I was able to keep my temperatures pretty low. Now the top fan is still controlled by the CPU as well as the top fan up on top over here. So as this increases, this fan increases, so it has a pretty good airflow as well. So that is definitely something to note when you're trying to do an NZXT build. It's just the fan position that you got to figure out on how you want to get the air in and out at the same time. Now I do want to change the NZXT fans here and the top because they are a little bit loud to what I'm used to. So when I film with this or edit or record, I do hear it a lot, so I do want to replace those with Noctuas. And since the top fits 140 millimeter fan, I might switch that to a 140 millimeter fan as well. In comparison to my old GPU, which is the 1070, I play the game Space Engineers, which I'll leave a link to my other channel here. On the 1070 on high quality, I was able to get about 90-ish frames per second, almost 100. And on this guy is close to 200 something frames per second. And this guy will just keep going. So what I ended up having to do is frame limit or VSync. You have to do either one of those just to lower the cap. Now at 100% utilization, like I was saying, 200 something frames per second on the same game that I used to play on the 1070. But if I was to limit the frame rate to what my monitor was, I'm getting about 75 frames per second because I got a 75 hertz monitor. And it's only using about 35 to 40% utilization. So this thing stays quiet even running that game. I'm not going to show much benchmarks or anything because there's so many of those on the internet already. So they'll probably be able to do a much better score than I could do because they have more GPUs. But ultimately, this thing is great. Because I'm able to keep it at a very low utilization, like 30% to 40%, it barely gets hot. The fans don't really spin up. So ultimately, this setup made my computer even more quieter than it was before when I was using the 1070. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you guys have any questions about this, hit it down in the comments below. And if you guys are new to this channel, consider subscribing. Also hitting that bell notification icon so you know when the next video is going to be out. And as I say in my nerd cave, hack till it hurts.